U.S. Capitol Police notified the country that there was a critical incident this afternoon. There were two U.S. Capitol Police officers who were in an altercation. One of them was killed. There was a maniac who slammed his car into a barricade and then got out with a knife and started charging at the officers. He was shot and killed. And so this was all unfolding today on Twitter, and it was kind of a wild scene. I want to show you how this was unfolding today. So this tweet came about from the U.S. Capitol Police, said they're responding to the North Barricade vehicle access point along Independence Avenue, and I think they got that wrong. I think it's Constitution Avenue, for reports someone rammed a vehicle into two U.S. Capitol Police officers. A suspect is in custody. Both officers are injured. All three have been transported to the hospital. And it was kind of a weird scene because I was on Twitter, doing some show prep, kind of just, as I normally do, scrolling around, seeing what's going on. And there was a lot of videos of just activity around the Capitol and a lot of people scrambling around vehicles. And this gentleman, Jake Sherman, the founder of Punchbowl News, posted that there was a helicopter that just landed in the east front of the Capitol, right near the Capitol building. He said, I've never seen anything like this before. And so if you want to go check out the video, I'm going to play it right here, but give him a good follow because he was doing a lot of reporting from there on the scene. And what you'll notice that this is actually from within a bathroom. So apparently I've never been in this, obviously this part of the Capitol building, but you can look out. Apparently this is a bathroom and you can see, I think the Supreme Court's over there and there's some other, this is right in the middle of it all. This is where a lot of our Congress people are walking in and out of, right by the Capitol building. And so kind of a big deal. This is the video. You're going to watch this helicopter just fall in here. That's the Supreme Court right there. I think this is the National Archives. And then this is the Capitol building that he's shooting in from. And you've got the whole, it's just it's a weird scene. I've been there, I've walked all around there, and to see sort of this, emergency response, it was pretty interesting. So here's his video.
This is unusual. I'm taping this. This is a helicopter literally landing on the east front of the Capitol. I've never in my life seen this before. I've been up here a long time. Again, a helicopter landing on the east front of the Capitol. A U.S. Park Police helicopter. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. Oh my God, he better be a good pilot with that maneuver. I don't know, man.
So pretty wild scene. And, this was still at a moment where everybody's like, what the heck is going on? Is that Ethan Hunt? They're just, helicoptering into the Capitol building. And you saw that little helicopter move, right? He's going in between the trees there in the grass. And everybody's like, what the, this is kind of crazy. Turns out it was just one guy, it sounds like. So the U.S. Capitol Police posted this update. And we can see here is the latest information. They notified us, said that we are devastated to share the sad news that one of our officers involved in this afternoon's incident passed away. U.S. Capitol Police is working to notify the officer's next of kin before it releases additional information. Just after 1 p.m., a man in a blue sedan rammed his vehicle into the North Barricade at the U.S. Capitol, striking two U.S. Capitol Police officers. The department immediately locked down the Capitol campus. The man exited the vehicle with a knife and ran towards our officers. At least one officer drew their weapon and shot the suspect. One U.S. Capitol Police officer was transported by the cruiser to the hospital. Second USCP officer was transported by fire and EMS. The suspect was also transported by DC Fire and EMS to the hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries around 1:30 p.m. The investigation is still ongoing, and we now know that one of those officers did in fact die, and it's this gentleman here. His name was Officer William Billy Evans. And rest in peace. The U.S. Capitol Police have had a very tough year. Obviously, we had the January 6th stuff. Somebody died in that, and they lost another officer. So I'm sure for this type of agency, this is not a common thing. And so our hearts go out to anybody over there, and of course to Mr. William and his Mr. Evans and his family, because this is just obviously tragic. So this is the U.S. Capitol Police posted this statement. It says the loss of Officer William Evans. April 2nd press relief. It is with profound sadness that I share the news of the passing of Officer William Billy Evans this afternoon from injuries he sustained following an attack at the North Barricade by a lone assailant. Officer Evans had a member has been a member of the U.S. Capitol Police for 18 years. He began his service on March 7th, was a member of the First Responders Unit. Please keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers. This is from the acting U.S. Capitol Police Chief, Yogananda Pittman, who we've talked about on this channel a lot. So, of course, our hearts and prayers go out to his family. This is a little bit of the aftermath of the scene from the New York Post. This is what it looked like. And you can see that they're sort of wheeling, don't know who that is, but they're wheeling somebody on a gurney. Looks like an officer or potentially the suspect, but a lot of activity on the scene. So, loading somebody up right there.
You can see it's definitely an officer on that stretcher.
Couldn't tell.
All right, so that was going on most of the afternoon, and the media, of course, was trying to identify this guy. Everybody was trying to come up with their predictions. You know, is this a white guy? Is this some other race or whatever? So they can go moral ape bananas. But this is who it turned out to be. So this is the suspect who smashed into the barrier at the U.S. Capitol. He's identified as a gentleman by the name of Noah Green. This was posted over at the New York Post by Craig McCarthy. Said the driver who killed the U.S. Capitol cop before he was gunned down by police is a Nation of Islam devotee from Indiana, according to reports and from his social media. Noah Green, 25, who may have been living in Virginia, described himself as a follower of Farrakhan on his Facebook page in reference to the Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. He appeared to have come on hard times from his Facebook page, reviewed by the Post before his account was taken down. I was on the right track and everything I had planned was coming into existence. He said it required long hours, lots of studying and exercise to keep me balanced while experiencing an array of concerning symptoms along the path I believe to be the side effects of drugs I was intaking unknowingly, he wrote on March 17th, signing the message, Brother Noah X. And so, you know, we just don't know necessarily what that means. Law enforcement sources said that Green recently lived in Virginia. In postings on social media, he let his friends and family know that the past few years have been tough and the past few months tougher. Currently now unemployed after I left my job partly due to afflictions, but ultimately in search of a spiritual journey, he wrote. Green's page featured several recent postings that reference the teaching of the Nation of Islam, a Black Separatist movement that does not follow the traditional teachings of Islam, and its leader, Louis Farrakhan. Nation of Islam has been classified as a designated hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center due to what the SPLC calls the deeply racist, anti-Semitic, anti-LGBT rhetoric of its leaders. The postings do not vindicate why Green, who is black, noted here, would target the Capitol. He posted about the end times in one post and another on March 17th, warned about the last days of our world as we know it. His final Facebook post from March 21 was a YouTube video called The Crucifixion of Michael Jackson, a 150-minute sermon in which Farrakhan defends Michael Jackson. And so we actually have a copy of that Facebook post. Let's take a quick look at it. You know, I don't really have a policy against reading these things. I don't know that it really does much, especially in this case. I did read through it. You know, certainly don't want to promote anything that is not appropriate, but most of this stuff is pretty benign. I did read through it. One interesting thing I thought that was worth noting was he talks about the COVID crisis. He says, there's much confusion in this day and age from my perspective. He said the ongoing COVID crisis, unemployment, rising national debt, division within the political sphere, rumors of war, and the like. But one thing I'm assured everyone can lean on, as I've leaned on, is the faith in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. As the man who can carry us through the dark hour. As written in the Bible, you can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. So if you question this man as Jesus, I recommend taking a look at his life work and his blessings Allah has filled him with. The raiser of the dead to life, making the blind see and the deaf hear, I bear witness, preaching the multitudes, and so on and so on. And so he kind of goes out, says, kind of checks out the... Yeah, it's an interesting, it's hard to sort of glean anything from this. I typically don't like it when people I actually don't like it when people instantly jump in and try to politicize these things. Obviously, they're tragic. I think that most of them are probably explainable by somebody who is just not mentally well, but instantly everybody likes to politicize these things. So whether it's the Trump people, whether it's the BLM people, whether it's a white shooter, a black shooter, a white supremacist individual, a black separatist individual. Everybody wants to make a political spectacle about it, and I'm just not sure how appropriate that is. I think that a lot of these people just need some help, and we'll leave it at that. Now, I'm sure that there'll be people clamoring on a number of different issues here. Good thing is this guy didn't use a gun, so maybe they're going to be trying to ban knives now. So that's good. All right, ban cars and ban knives. Anyways, I couldn't resist that.